Goodwood Motor Circuit. Located on the southern coast of England, it is one of many well-known rings of speed. Last month it was the host of the Global Festival of Speed.
And today we're in the Goodwood 75th Anniversary Breakfast Club. And this Breakfast Club today is a special day only for classic cars. In this video, we are going to show you some of the coolest interviews we've done with some special cars.
Arriving at our destination, we were greeted with a free motorsport magazine covering the latest automotive news. Right at the entrance, we were welcomed by a beautiful classic car lineup, starting with a 1971 Lotus Elan Sprint, finished in pistachio lime green. Standing next to this beautiful machine is one of the most iconic American muscle cars ever built, a 1968 Ford Mustang Fastback. Next to the Mustang are two elegant British icons, a 1970 Aston Martin DB6 Mark II, finished in Verde Aqua, and a 1964 Jaguar E-Type Roadster, coated in Carmine Red. Knowing that this was just the start, we couldn't get enough of admiring these beautiful cars.
I mean, look at this interior. Isn't that beautiful?
So we headed deep into the heart of Goodwood, where we would encounter a fairly large unique vehicle that had a lot of history to it.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Could you tell me a little bit about this vehicle?
Basically, it's a Daimler Ferret scout car. Went into service with the military in 1955 and was in service for about 30 years. Ended up with the RAF regiment that was with the Blues and Royals over in Cyprus and Germany. And in about 1956, 57, it was blown up by a mine. So military owned it for about 30 years and I've owned it for 29 years. So I've spent a lot of time restoring it. From when I originally got it, it was in a bit of a state when I first got it. So I go to lots of events and do arena displays with other vehicles, other Ferrets as well, and just enjoy it. It's a Daimler Ferret scout car made by Daimler with a straight six Rolls-Royce engine in it, which is about 4,500 cc engine power. It's 4.5 tons, so it needs that pressure from the engine to be able to move it around. Really, it's got 5 forward gears and 5 reverse gears, but you don't really need the reverse gears because you can just spin it around very quickly. It's very mobile, and it carries a lot of armaments. Carries a Brandon machine gun, a rocket launcher, and you can also electrify the bodywork. So if some of these vehicles were in, this one wasn't in Northern Ireland, but if it was in Northern Ireland, they would you press a switch inside, electrify the bodywork, and stops people climbing on it or touching it.
I can hear that's a working radio.
Yeah, that's a working radio. So at the moment, this is a station, a Ministry of Defence station, telling the lady on there at the moment is telling you the weather forecast at all RAF stations across the world. So it's live, and the radio there is a Klansman radio. So it's a HF radio where you could speak to, if you put the right aerial lengths up, you can get across to France, Germany. When I was in Kent about 10 years ago, I had an aerial, quite a big aerial up with the vehicle, and I got through to someone in Australia, which is a hell of a lot of distance. But that was more to do with luck than judgment, really, propagation. But it did work very well that day. Yeah?
And how long have you owned this car?
I've owned it for about 29 years in total. Whether I continue to own it is another story because I'm getting older, and to try to climb into it, you've got to, get into it. You haven't got a door, so you've got to do a lot of climbing all the time. So,
and did you drive it here?
Yeah, I drove it here today. I'm only local in a place called Tangmere, so I've only had to travel about 2 miles. But for 7 miles to a gallon of petrol, that's probably a good thing. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
The lineup just kept on getting better and better as we moved on. Jaguars, Porsches, Triumphs, Morgans, Fords. I mean, just keep counting all the car brands you can think of from different eras of history and from all over the world showed up on this day. One of these cars caught my attention that had a funny encounter on the way. Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
So, could you just tell me a little bit about this beautiful car that you have?
Well, thank you. It's a 1981 Morgan 4.4, which means it's four-wheel and four cylinders. It's got a Ford cross-flow engine, 1600cc, which is completely rebuilt. It's had a stage 2 conversion, bolted bed, light with flywheel, souped up. It's the engine they use in Formula Ford cars you used to. So it's a fun little car. And I come this morning from Cheddar, so I took 3 hours as well and left home at quarter past 4. It was a lovely drive, but unfortunately on the way we had an argument with a pigeon.
Hi, Gary. Do you deal with pigeons?
And you could still see some of the feathers from said pigeon.
Okay, thank you very much.
We saw a lot of American beauties at the show with their monstrous and loud revving V8s, but one of them caught my eyes.
Hi, how are you?
Oh yeah, I'm all good.
Can you tell me a little bit about it?
So back in the day, the Polara was the top of the range of Dodge's mid-size range. This was the most luxurious version you could buy. It came with 318, 5.2 litre engine originally. The lady that ordered this, she ticked the option box for the bigger 383 cubic inch or 6.3 litre engine. So it's got a lot of torque. It's joy of off a roundabout.
And the sound, does it give you pleasure when you hear it?
The sound and the experience of driving it. Yeah, it wafts up to the legal speed limit effortlessly. Yeah. Hey, it's just pleasurable to drive. I found it online. There's a website called Hemmings.com. Put in there whatever you're looking for. I've been looking on and off for a little while for 64 two-door. Then this appeared with a dealer in Orlando in Florida. The originality is what attracted me to it. And I talked to him and he sent me the videos and I was, you're not going to find another one of these. It turned 11,000 miles on riding, picked it up and took it to the garage to fill it up for today's trip.
What was like special thing that like when you saw this car, like there's like right next to you, there's a Mustang, a couple of other Dodges over there, Pontiac. Yeah. What was so special about this?
Style, design, robe around it, the styling of the dashboard. This is nice. This 64 was the last year push button automatic transmission. So if you take a look inside, you'll see on the left, there's the buttons, drive, reverse. You push a button like on a jukebox, select the transmission. Yeah, the next year it went to column. So it's a lovely little touch left over from the late 50s. The push button trans. It's the styling. I mean, when you see the dash and the way it's done, it's just beautiful.
Thank you very much.
No, you're welcome. Really.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for your interest.
Throughout the journey of Goodwood, we stumbled upon a masterpiece. One of 54 ever made. It was a Lamborghini Silhouette. My God, was it an honor to see this car in person.
Hi. Are you the owner of this beautiful car?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Okay, so it's a Lamborghini Silhouette, which is the rarest classic Lamborghini. They made 52 and 2 prototypes, so 54 in total. And Lamborghini were kind of bankrupt at the time. This was a 77 car. First one was made in 76, and they were meant to send it to the States, but they couldn't get homologation from the States, so they didn't really do very well. But it's a great car. It's Lamborghini's first open car, Targa, because it was competing with the kind of Porsche 911 Targa, the 308, RF308. So Lamborghini came up with this, which is an evolution of the Araco. They made a lot more Aracos, about 700 of those. This one's number 26 of the 52, and original colour. It's the only one made in this colour, red Colorado. Originally sold in Germany, then he went to the States, spent a long time in the States, got painted red over there, came back to the UK, and I've looked after it for about 10, 12 years now.
So you've owned this car for 12 years now?
I think about that time, yeah.
Wow.
And I tell you about its original colour, and it's great. Comes along.
When I was walking down there, I saw that iconic bag. And how does it feel to own a Lamborghini?
When it's running, great.
When it's running. Well, it's a beautiful day, and it's a beautiful car. Thank you very much.
No problem at all.
Moving on to more rare cars. we came across a famous British sports car you don't see every day, but you might have heard of.
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Could you tell me a little bit about this car?
Sure. It's an Essex Lotus Esprit. They introduced the Essex cars in 1980, and they were going to do 100 of them to launch the Essex, the turbo version of the Esprit. And the Essex comes from the sponsorship of the Essex Petroleum company who sponsored the Formula One team. In reality, instead of doing 100, they only did 34. 23 in the UK, 11 went overseas. They rebadged number 23 as number 100 to make it look as if they'd done 100. But there was a problem with the financial scandal with the Essex Petroleum Company, and so the Formula One team dropped them, and that's why they only did 34 rather than 400. And this is number 11. There's about 6 in the UK, 7 in the UK, maybe 4 or 5 in the rest of the world.
And how many cylinders?
It's 4-cylinder on a slant 4 with a turbocharger. It's 210 brake horsepower, and the 0 to 60 is 5.6 seconds, which back in 1980 was very quick.
And how long have you owned this car?
I've owned it 17 years. Long time.
Long time. Well, it's nice to meet you, and thank you very much for your time.
No problem at all.
Lots of fabulous cars attended on that day, but one special car brought everyone back to the past, or shall I say, back to the future.
So, welcome to the present.
Thank you very much. Yes, it's good to be here. 2023, I believe.
I think so.
Is it? Right. I've just come from 1985.
Oh, nice.
Time circuit's still playing up. So, do you have returning?
No, I don't. No.
I can't get that, so I need to stay here for a while. Yeah.
And see if we can find some for you.
Right. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So, tell me a bit about your car. What is it? So, obviously, what is it? We all know. You walk around. So, tell me.
So, 1981 DeLorean imported over from Texas about 7 years ago.
Yeah.
It's had 2 major rebuilds in that time. And then when lockdown happened, I thought, I really need to get on and convert it. So I was still working lockdown, but I spent find all the details and all the dimensions.
Honestly, when you came in, I thought this was the actual one from the movie. It's like, is this
like millimeter perfect?
Like,
yes, yeah.
You are so detailed with all technical, like the back thrusters, the wiring.
Yeah, even the wiring's the right colours and the right order, and the flux bands are all the correct dimensions.
And how long did it take you to?
So I'm maybe 85% through. I've still got maybe another 500 hours work. So there's about 5,500 man hours still going.
And how long have you owned this car?
7 years. So 3 years as stock DeLorean, and then started to change slowly.
Brilliant, brilliant. Well, thank you very much.
No problem at all. Thank you for spending time with me. Yes.
We were nearing the end of the day at Goodwood, and the British weather started to turn its back on us. All the cars started to leave. We had a wonderful time and experience at Goodwood, and we hope to do it again. Please like, share and subscribe to support our new content, and comment below your opinion on the video to help us improve and develop this new content. Click on the icon bell so you can stay tuned for the latest videos you'll be seeing from us every week. Thank you and goodbye.